Okay, cool. Now, oh, cool. I have 2 viewers. That's good. Anybody have any questions or anything? I'm in my home office, which is a complete disaster. Oh, cool. 3 viewers. Okay, so I was right. Like, just putting an emoji gets you more viewers, then that's good to know. So, anybody have any questions? You can see everything's kind of a mess. I'm just in my home office. I don't know why the phone's ringing, like buzzing me. Some sort of update. I have 4 people. Yay! Any more? We could get more people. That'd be nice. Oh, 5. Good. Okay. We got a nice little crowd going. Basically, this is my second time broadcasting on Periscope, and unfortunately, the first time I started broadcasting, what happened is I didn't get any people that were actually viewing me. Oh, Disneyland? I'm like, I don't know, like a few blocks away. I live in Anaheim, so I'm like literally a few blocks away. The Anaheim Convention Center is like right down the street from me. So it's like I'm really, really close to Disneyland. Unbelievably close to Disneyland. So it's really interesting being as close to Disneyland, because like when the Anaheim Convention Center is going on, like the traffic on Catella is horrendous, because you take Catella and it goes right past Harbor, and Harbor is where everybody goes to turn in to get to Disneyland and various things. So it's pretty cool. I work helping people who are deaf, blind, and autistic. So if anybody has any questions about deafness, blindness, or autism, let me know. That's kind of why I'm in Periscope. I've been watching people live in Periscope, and it's kind of cool. You get to see things from different places. I don't know. I'm not at a convention. I'm in my home office. So I'm like, really, I'm in my home office. Is there something going on in the convention center right now? I have no idea. I have not been out today yet. It's Saturday, so there's probably something going on at the convention center. They're like always booked. Like last weekend was the D23 convention, and like that was crazy. The traffic was horrendous. Although they did a pretty good job managing the traffic. So it wasn't too bad. But still a lot of people. D23 is Disneyland's or Disney's annual convention for like all things Disney, and it's a crazy madhouse. The one that was really big was when the Star Wars convention was here at the Anaheim Convention Center. Traffic was crazy. Like, forget about going down Catella. You're sitting in traffic for like a good 10 minutes on Catella. And like everybody is like cosplay, like, cosplay is where they were like dress up as characters or different things. There were like, stormtroopers crossing the street and stuff. Oh, cool. Somebody actually has a relevant question to what I do. Well, what got me into my work is when I was in high school, there were a lot of blind and visually impaired kids. And so I got to know them and hang out with them and stuff. And I myself have Asperger syndrome, so I have a form of high-functioning autism. And I hung out with the blind kids and stuff and learned to do things how they did it. And then one year I went to the fair, and there's this guy that's deaf, and he's advocating for people with disabilities who are deaf. And he has information on other disabilities and stuff. And I'm like, cool, this is what I want to do, but I want to do this for the blind. And so what I ended up doing is I ended up joining him. And this is in like 2001. In 2003, I actually became the director of DeafBlind services because I'd been studying sign language, but I really wanted to work with blind people, and so the DeafBlind kind of fit in. And then, I was, learning everything, and I did a lot of stuff, and eventually I became the executive director in 2010. So now I'm the executive director, and I love my work. I love working with clients. I love working with volunteers when they're in a good mood. I really just enjoy things. We just got done with the fair last week, so that was fun. It was 5 weeks. You only get Monday and Tuesday off. I'm doing it for 5 weeks. That's 5 weekends. Plus, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. 5 days in a row and stuff. And I wasn't there a whole lot, but that's because I have asthma, which is really bad, set off by cigarette smoke. And the only reason I'm not wearing my 3M P100 filter like around my neck right now is because I'm inside my house. My house is completely sealed off from the outside, and we have central AC. Actually, last year, I'm not sure what month it was, but the air conditioning broke, and I was actually stuck in the house, sweating to death. All we had were fans going, and we have the ceiling fans. You can see that. Ceiling fan. We had the ceiling fans going, and it was horrible. Luckily, it wasn't in the middle of summer. So, yeah, I had to stay in the house, didn't have any choice. It got so hot at one point, I actually went and stayed in the car for like an hour, running the engine for the air conditioning, because it was so hot in the house. It's horrible. Hi! How's everyone today, anyways? I forgot to ask. Oh, there goes my screensaver again. Eek. That sounded ding. Yeah, that's my screensaver turning on. My screen reader, which actually reads pages out loud to me, because sometimes, like when stuff's really long, it's just easier to have the synthetic speech reading it to me, and I listen to it about 600 words per minute. So it helps getting through really, really long stuff, especially when I'm doing legal research and whatnot. It's like, oh, and it also helps with my editing too. I use text to speech for editing also, when I'm doing documents, letters and stuff that I need to proofread. Is that fast? My text to speech engine goes about 500 to 600 words per minute. And some people have likened it to a machine gun. I'm like, no, it doesn't sound like a machine gun. But it's perfectly intelligible to me. I've used text-to-speech since the 90s, the late 90s, so I am really used to it. We used to use Deck Talk back in the day. Deck Talk and Arctic speech synthesizers. And those are super robotic. But I passed college biology using a Braille Note Taker, because I read and write Braille. And they didn't have any really good learning disabled solutions at the time. So I went and I bought a Braille Note Taker and basically used that. I could type in Braille, I could hear the stuff read to me, and I used that to pass college biology. That's what I used to take notes. I'm down to 3 people! You don't like me? Oh my gosh. That's horrible. Okay, come on. Anybody else? Questions? Comments? Can you show the note taker? Let me think. Where did I put the note takers? Okay, well, let's show you guys something. It's Periscope, right? I'm supposed to be able to see into my life a little bit. Well, first, let me switch this around. Did that work? Hold on. There. Good. Okay. This is my workroom closet. I have a lot of different stuff in here. I just moved last year. This is a Perkins Brailler. So this is actually a Braille writer. Or we have, we have our 6 keys for the 6 dots in Braille and the space bar, and then this is the return, and this is the backspace. So to write A, it's dot 1, B is dots 1, 2, C is dots 1, 4. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's a Perkins Brailler. That's what I use a lot to make labels. I can actually do books on that. Now the Braille Note Taker, like the one I use to pass in my college thing. This one, by the way. Oh, look, it works. I'm knocking everything over. That's fine. Oh, that's my microphone right there. iRig. Awesome microphone. Okay, so this is a Braille and Speak. And it would actually work better if I put in the other things, but this is a Braille and Speak. And as you can see, it's kind of like the Braille writer I showed you, but it has the 6 keys and it has a space bar. And you notice there's no anything for new line or whatever. Well, it works the same pretty much as the Braille writer. So A, B, C. Obviously when I'm using 2 hands, my fingers are like this, so this way and then this way. Sorry I can't show you with actually both hands on it, but it's like I can't do that without putting down the camera, and I'm the only one with holding the phone right now. So but to get to a new line, you'd push it with the space bar. So when you're typing, you don't press the space bar unless you want a space. But when you're issuing commands, new line is these 3 keys. So you just push that down and that would act as a return key. And then to go back a space, you'd actually use these 3 keys. And then that would just go back a space. And you could just do that repeatedly to go back spaces. And there's a bunch of other commands on it. You can, you can do we call them chords. So this key, and this key with the space bar. So this is dots 1, 3, and 5. And if you push that, you get to the options menu. Yeah, that's Braille and Speak's dead. It hasn't been charged in a while. Now there's another type of note taker. And that, see this stuff? And that earbox is going to fall on me. And I do have chargers up there that want to come down and crash on me, but this is another type of note taker. And same kind of idea, but this one has, see these little dots here? See the little dots? These are called Braille cells. Steal some mail? Huh?
Where's the tablet?
Brian, what are you talking about?
Huh?
John, I'm live.
Oh, day now?
Okay, so these are the cells, and this little scrolly wheel. You remember these are like mouses and stuff, so when you're doing a document, you can scroll through it. But same idea. You do chords to, backspace and whatever. But this is additional dots. So instead of just having 6 keys, you now have 8 keys to write in Braille. And so you can do computer code and you can do a bunch of other things, which is pretty cool. Anybody have any questions? I know we're down to 2 people at the moment, so. Anybody? These are the advanced bars. Are people just watching me to listen to me or something? I don't know. This is actually a pretty cool machine. It's old. If anybody remembers these style ports, that's a port for a printer right there. That's a printer port. That's old school printer ports before USB was around. If anybody is old enough to remember that. Spencer, knock it off. So, anyways. Let's see. This, Freedom Scientific, it's interesting thing about note takers is, okay, Spencer, you're gone, buddy. Okay, so note takers been around since the 80s, and they're basically like little personal computers for people who are blind. But nowadays, we use just dedicated Braille displays, and they connect to iPhones and Android phones. There are still a few Braille note takers around that are for they're like dedicated. The company that makes these makes other Freedom Scientific products, but they have their own dedicated note takers. I forget what their series is called right now. It's like escaping my mind. But then there's another company that makes the Braille Note, and those are pretty popular. The APH up until recently sold the Braille Plus Mobile Manager, and we use a lot of Braille Plus Mobile Managers at the agency. We use the Braille Plus Mobile Manager, and we use something called a Refresher Braille, and we usually pair those two together, or pair Refresher Braille, which is basically a Braille display. It's a shorter Braille display, so you don't get as many characters, but we have that. And then, this here is basically a tape recorder and tape player that plays special cassettes for the blind, and it also plays regular cassettes. It's no longer made. A lot of the stuff is switched to digital. I have Easy Count Abacus. This is an instruction booklet. But this is like the Easy Count Abacus. This is what you use for blind, low vision. And there's like 100 beads on here, 10 on each rod. And so you would use this as a counting abacus. And you can flip over the thing. So the other side is yellow, which I can't show because this particular one is not open yet. Another tape recorder, and everything's falling. Just love it when everything falls. So nice. This is pretty cool. It doesn't look like much, but this is a slate. And with this, you get a stylus, which is a little instrument that you hold in your hand that has a point on it so that you can punch into the frame. Like, you'd put a piece of paper in here. Oh, good. It worked. So you put a piece of paper in here, and you would literally be punching dots, and they go into the indentations, and then so you can open it up. You can open it up like that. You put the paper in. When you put the paper in, the paper would go in between here, and you just close it shut, and then you start, and you'd write from right to left, which is strange, but, works. That's kind of some of the stuff I've got going on. I got a lot of equipment. Let me switch around here. Yeah, so I have a lot of equipment, like my work closet. Like, I didn't even touch on, like, everything that's in there. And then in the auxiliary room, I also have a bunch of stuff. But the auxiliary room is packed. I can't even walk in there right now. Like, literally, the door doesn't even close. And it's a good sized room. It's basically it's a 12 point something by 8 foot room. It would have been 12 by 10, but it has the closets for both rooms in it, because there's another 12 by 10 room next to it. I live in a 4-bedroom place. 4-bedroom, 2-bath. It's really nice. I like it. It works. What can I say? I have 2 people. Anybody have questions? Anybody? Seriously, like, I know a lot of stuff. Anybody has any more questions? Fans are just going around. See my fan? I have a fan. With a light. And I keep getting in weird positions where the light shines on me weirdly, but that works. You know, doing this, though, this live stream has highlighted how much I really need to reorganize my workroom. I really do. And I actually do have to go and set up the light box thing, because I'm going to be taking pictures, and it's like this box, and you aim lamps at it, and it removes shadows from the objects you're taking pictures of. So I have to go take pictures for one of the stores that I'm running. My agency has an eBay store and an Amazon store. And then personally, I am running an Etsy store. The agency will also be opening an Etsy store at some point. But right now I've entered into a partnership with a sculptor who's DeafBlind in my personal life. And so I'm going to be basically selling his stuff. Oh, anybody hear that? That's the Velcro on my pants. Here. See? They're cargo pants. They're really nice. They work really good. I'm still getting used to this camera. Really, I am. Like, I'm not used to shooting in selfie mode and trying to show people things. Doesn't really work too well, but I don't know. I think that's about it. I have so much work to do and get caught up on. A lot of stuff from the fair. I gotta call people. I gotta get back to people. I gotta do a lot of things. I gotta stop playing with my pants while I'm broadcasting. Okay, that sounded bad. Well, you know, this broadcast is like going to disappear after 24 hours, so I guess I don't have to feel that bad, but, you know. I can actually grab the video and I can edit it down and put it on YouTube. I can do that. I might do that. I hate vertical video on YouTube, but I might just do that and see what happens. Because being able to edit stuff is pretty good. But I don't know, I like the interactivity. I wish people would like posting. You guys want to say anything? There's only 2 of you. You could say something. Type in the little box at the bottom. I had to kick one guy off because he was being a little too explicit for me, so I had to say goodbye to him. But yeah, type pretty much anything, you know, questions, comments, observations. Maybe next time I should shoot in a brightly lit room with the fan light off. But this isn't a production studio. This is actually my workroom. This is, you know, I have like everything just laying around here and waiting for me to get to it. And God, so tiring, really. Just thinking about all the work I have to do is like, oh, I want to go to bed already, really. Like, I'm done. Like, call it a night. Really. It's like, it's only the afternoon. I have like several hours to go before I can even think about calling it a night. I gotta get stuff done, because I am going to be going on vacation. Going up to Big Bear and then to Palm Springs. Which is kind of stupid. But, what can I say? We got a really good deal on Palm Springs. The deal on Big Bear wasn't so bad either. And there's some stuff there I could check out. But it's mostly going to be to try and rest and get caught up. Kind of get away from all the clutter that's in my office and stuff, and work on getting caught up on all my other work that I have to do, because I have a lot to do. And then I'm also taking an edX class on astronomy, and I have to work on that too. Oh, and the Bowl-a-thon. I gotta get the stuff put up on the Bowl-a-thon webpage. If anybody's interested, if anybody can make it to Fountain Valley, it's like south of here. It's not that far south. It's like, I don't know, 7-8 miles south of here. And it's Fountain Bowl. We are hosting our Bowl-a-thon on November 7th. Plenty of time for you guys to plan if you're local. If you're not local, that's fine too. I don't mind. Really, I'm just broadcasting for no apparent reason other than to broadcast, yeah. No, actually, I was supposed to originally be answering questions on blindness and autism, but, like, no one signed into that. So I need to really figure out how to do the cake emoji. Like, I wanna do emojis. Like Chris Perillo, he says he does emojis, he gets a lot more Periscope viewers. So I am probably just gonna start using emojis until I get better following. That's what I'm gonna have to do, because, you know, I think I topped out at 6 viewers for this broadcast, which is going a bit long, I guess. I don't know, what's the average Periscope, like 10 minutes? Maybe not even that, I don't know. And you know, they don't let us rewind too, so you miss something, you can't rewind, you can't fast forward. Like, I noticed Periscope, like, if you pause it and go to a different app, it, like, completely crashes the video, so you have to, like, exit out of the video and go back in, and then it starts all over from the beginning. It's horrible. With that in mind, I should probably keep my Periscopes shorter. But I wanted to see who was out there. I think we did pretty good for a second broadcast. A lot better than the first one. The first one, nobody wanted to sign in and watch me. No one. No, there's like one person, but they left like right away. Just like really strange. So, there's my screensaver again. Okay, so I am going to go and attempt to get work done today because I have so much of it. And then maybe Periscope later and see if more people are on. Okay.